What's your big takeaway from this Bruins game last night?
Game got away from them, and I'm not worried. I'm not, because I thought, hey, they made a lot of freaking mistakes. Too many men in the ice. It's a recurring problem. I know the big thing is the talk of the goalies and this and that, and we'll get to that. But I thought they controlled that game in the early part. I did. And then they just turned it up. They just turned it. Florida said, our backs are against it. And you could tell when that first goal got in for Florida, the relief on their players' faces, the smiles. Like, holy crap, maybe we just cracked it here. Maybe something's going to happen. But, you make the choice to go to Allmark there. And I think it's to get him reps and just keep him loose. I still think it's Swayman that is going to get the call on Friday night, but I think it's an opportunity. This game's getting away from us. You recognize it. Kid, get in there. Let's go. Let's get you some reps. And I like the way the physicality started at the end of it, because now we got a hateable opponent. I didn't like this team to begin with. I don't like Kachuk.
I'm sorry?
Kachuk. I don't like Kachuk to begin with. And now I hate him more. I hate this team more. And we got ourselves a playoff series. With dislike, and the Garden's going to be lit on Friday night. That place will be rocking. And who the hell is Maroon going to beat the hell out of, beat the bag out of to start that damn game? I know he's got that 10-minute, but Jesus. It got away from him, and I think it was a multitude of things. Screening in front of the net. McAvoy planted in. What is going on with Charlie McAvoy?
Well, that's my big takeaway. That's where I'd like to start.
That's my biggest, too, with you. Go ahead.
Charlie McAvoy is hurting his team right now. Simply put, he is hurting his team. He's not helping them. He's making the situation worse for them. And he is supposed to be their franchise cornerstone, very best defenseman. He is supposed to be now one of these guys that has sort of inherited a role that has been a big part of this Bruins franchise for a long time. Before Charlie McAvoy, it was Zdeno Chara. Before Zdeno Chara, there was a gap, but I would say the guy before him was Ray Bourque. If you want to go all the way back, you want to go back to the 1970s, you want to throw Bobby Orr's name around, go ahead. Do whatever you please. But Charlie McAvoy is supposed to be the guy defensively for the Bruins. And right now, he is hurting their team. He has hurt this team the entire playoffs. And maybe Charlie McAvoy just isn't what we thought he was.
Oh, boy.
Or what he should be. Or doesn't live up to what his paycheck tells him he is every 2 weeks. Maybe all those things are true about Charlie McAvoy. I've always been sort of a McAvoy fan.
Me too.
And I never really understood the haters. Man, are the haters celebrating what they've said about Charlie McAvoy for a long time.
Did you see social media last night when he pulled Swayman? It lit up like, when you pulled the wrong guy, pull McAvoy. Get McAvoy off the ice. I'm like, holy crap, here we go.
Are you? What are you talking about? Are you talking about when he screened him? What are we talking about?
No. When Swayman came out of net and they put Allmark in, like social media lit up, pulling the wrong guy.
Gotcha.
Pulling the wrong guy off the ice. Pull McAvoy.
Yeah.
He's the reason the goals went in, not Swayman.
Put Allmark in for McAvoy. Can he skate?
I don't think it was like a directive at Swayman, like, you suck tonight, you're out. I think it's, you know what, we effed up in front of you. You know, you've been playing a lot. Get the rest. Let's get back to Boston. Let's get rested. You're going to be the guy Friday night. We're getting Lena some reps here. And then it was all hands. It's dropped the gloves after that with everybody.
Second goal of the night, you have McAvoy who can't get the puck out. He can't clear the puck. And then it leads to a goal. Loses his stick, sloppy, standing around again like he has on so many of these goals.
But no, it's the standing straight up.
Then you had this other situation, which has already happened in these playoffs, where Charlie McAvoy is screening his goaltender, right? This is the goal at the end of the second period.
Oh, my God.
Where he's screening him, but not doing anything.
Standing straight up.
So it's like, are you going to block the shot, or are you just going to get in the way? Are you going to clear a guy out? What are you going to do there? You've got to do something.
It's like he was standing in line at Chipotle. Seriously. Like, be crunched over, try to block the shot, do what other guys have had in the past where they break legs, taking a puck on the leg. And that was a backbreaker.
Such a backbreaker. Less than a second left.
You son of a bitch! You were like 25 seconds ahead of me, and you're texting. And I'm like, what is McCone texting about backbreaking goal? And then whammo!
Yeah, he was ahead.
I had to mute weird. You. I had to mute you. Why is your TV ad? What do you have?
Spectrum, Worcester, Central Mass.
Oh,
but yeah, it was a.
They're in a different time zone.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that is.
Alternate reality.
Never heard of that.
Never even heard of Spectrum.
No, it was a backbreaking goal. McAvoy's been terrible. I almost wonder, and obviously he got banged up last night, but do you think he's playing through something right now?
I've been saying that for days now.
Let's hope so. Because if this is just who he is at the most important time of the year, that's a big problem.
Yeah. Did you see the package they did last night on him? Where they talked about how he's a different guy this year because they're asking him to do so much more and how much he cherishes to have that on his plate. And then they got him coming off the bench to where he's on the ice and then boom, he lights someone up. And that's the Charlie McAvoy we love. That was like a quick snapshot of that game, and then everything else was standing around. Hey, there's a lot to blame last night. Forward in the corner, where the hell was he going? To help facilitate that goal. Pasta dropping the gloves. You don't want to see that, but I love the fact he fought. He was going to win, but I ain't afraid of him. That'll go a long way in that locker room. Everybody questions that. Is he a tough kid? Well, he's got the size enough. I don't want him fighting every night, but I love that whole sequence where they're chirping each other. And Kachuk is talking to him, and he's talking to him. And they go to the bench. And then he turns and tells Monty, hey, I'm going to fight him. Monty goes, what? And he goes, I'm going to fight him. And he goes, okay, you do it. That's great. It's great by Monty. Because now it's like, hey, what do we got to lose here? Let's go out and beat their ass, set the tone, try and turn something to where we have some momentum going back home, even though you lost on the scoreboard. You got a series now. It's a fun one. But I don't think it's the end of the world last night. I think the game got away from him. And I think shielding the ability of Swayman. Now, Swayman's in there, and there are things that he sees clearly, and they just go in, and it's glove side high, and, holy crap, what's he doing? You'll get 3 or 4 of those goals, you're shielded. You can't hang it on him. And what a deflection off the one. Oh, my God. And what at the end of the period was a freaking laser. He didn't see that. He couldn't because somebody was standing there. So this is not on Swayman.
I don't think it was his best game.
Nope.
Not putting it on him. I don't think he was playing at the level that we saw him play. He did make some really great saves, though, at certain points last night.
Both goalies had early in this game, it was unreal, the stops they had.
I'm not putting it on him. He's not why they lost.
The only one he really could have had was his last goal that he gave up.
Yeah. And again, here we are talking about the goalie situation when it wouldn't have mattered.
Yep.
Doesn't matter who was in net. And he's not the reason they lost.
Look what happened afterwards.
The goalies have not been the reason that the Bruins have lost in any of their games, including when Ullmark played in the first series. He was not the reason that the team lost. But it does beg some interesting questions about how they approach it going forward now.